two projects for today. We have two issues with this car that I just picked up. One is the O2 sensor is throwing a code, and I thought it would just be the O2 sensor. I looked at videos and it showed how to clean an O2 sensor and showed people taking a torch to it, heating it up, burning all the char off of it, and I thought that was a pretty good idea. I was going to use it until I realized you had to take the heat shield off to get the O2 sensor off. O2 sensor disconnects from there. You actually disconnect it by taking it off of this can't do it with one hand. There's a tab you pull down, this will slide off the bracket, and then you can disconnect it a lot easier. Then I figured I'd get a wrench over on there, but once I took off the heat shield, I discovered that the exhaust manifold's cracked. So I do believe that that is the culprit as to why it's throwing a code, because O2 sensor doesn't look all that old, but I could be wrong. Maybe it is. The shielding of the wires is kind of eroding, but and there was oil on the valve cover, just around here and around here, but nowhere else. So I thought that was kind of strange. Then I discovered, you can see that in there, somebody decided to torque that down with some apeshit strength, fractured it, and so now you can no longer thread that in there and get any grip. So I need to repair that, and the best idea I've come up with that's inexpensive, and I'm pretty sure this is going to take maybe 10 foot-pounds of torque at the most, maybe 12, but it can get away with. Some of them used to be 7, I think some of them used to be 9. I don't know what this one is yet because I haven't looked it up, but I will find out shortly. I looked up online and saw MIG welding with aluminum. Oh, I got grease all over my hand now. I can't touch my phone. And that was quite expensive. So I did see somebody welding with, I should say brazing with aluminum rods. So I went to Harbor Freight and I picked these up. I can't remember how much they are. I think they're like 20 bucks or so. And I watched somebody use these, well, I guess to fill in a hole or something. Went to Home Depot, picked up this tube. I'm hoping this tube will not bind to the aluminum. But I may have a whole nother problem altogether. And I went and picked up some bolts. Home Depot's got a terrible damn selection. They never fill. They say it's the vendor, so if I ever see that guy, I'm going to chew his butt out and say he's there on Wednesday. I guess the flash turned off. We're fine. Thought we stopped recording. But I went to Lowe's. Lowe's usually has a better selection because they actually stock their stuff for the most part. And I got one of these. I might as well test to see whether this even fits it. But the theory is to have this threaded in, pull the aluminum up around it, and build a foundation, and then I'll be able to back this out, and then I'll have threads to bite so that I can tighten that down. And then I also saw a guy repairing cast iron, which is what this exhaust manifold is. And I can get one of these out of the junkyard for 20 bucks or less, and I may end up doing that, and I may not. All I really want to do is one, be able to test this to see if I can actually weld this back together, because I've never used a MIG welder before, and this is going to do a lot of different things. I'm also going to take it off and sandblast it. I went and got a bunch of sand from Home Depot, so that'll allow me to now use my cabinet, which has rollers on it. So I'm going to roll it outside the shop, be wearing all the proper PPE, personal protective equipment, roll my door down so I don't contaminate my shop, sandblast that thing clean. I'm going to use my Craftsman Dremel, which I use to trim the trailing arms when I put the what were those rims? They're these rims right here. Oh, the fit rims. When I put the fit rims on the blue CRX 88HF. So I'm going to use that to grind a bevel on the exhaust manifold after I sandblast it. And so I'm going to be testing a lot of things. Hopefully all of it works. And if not, I'm going to know what doesn't work and I'm going to return it. I have yet to even open that box. I got that for a really good price. I think I paid $75 for that thing when it was on sale from Harbor Freight. And so that's what's on the agenda. And the guy that I saw who was repairing did an excellent job of I didn't watch the entire thing yet. But I also got high temp black paint, 25% more free, couldn't pass that up. So that's gonna probably spray the heat shield as well as the exhaust manifold. I don't know how long it'll hold up, but I get to test that too. I got the paint, that's another story. The propane and a heat gun, and I'm gonna use this head to put the exhaust manifold on while I work on it. And I'm gonna tack it on this side, and then once I get it together, and if it's holding, I'm going to unbolt it, flip it over, lay it on the ground over there, and finish it up. And I'm going to push this over there. But what this guy did, I don't know how he learned it, but it seems intelligent enough. Apparently when you weld MIG to cast iron, it has potential to crack because it's crystalline structure, he says, and makes sense to me. So what he's doing is while it's cooling, he's peening it with a hammer. And you know what? I don't have a peen. I just have to use a regular side of the hammer. Just thought of that. Huh. Oh well. So, and what he's doing is creating hundreds, if not thousands, of tiny cracks so that it'll avoid one major crack. And he's stitching it a little bit at a time. So, if and when I do this, well, not if, but after I get done doing this, I'm going to post it up to YouTube in a response to his and thank him for showing. And that's, I used his philosophy and paradigm to hopefully fix this. And I always try to do good work, so we'll see what we end up with. And if I end up getting the one from the junkyard, I obviously didn't know what the heck I was doing, or because obviously it's possible. I saw this guy do it, so I don't know. We'll just see. Figure out how to work this MIG welder.